This is where human eggs are frozen. Harvesting them is a long, painful, and incredibly expensive process. The chances of any of those eggs leading to a successful pregnancy are extremely low.
No one said don't do it. No one said you're crazy lady, don't spend this money, it's not gonna work. No one stopped me.
But if it does work, this is day one for Isa Watson. She'll inject hormones twice a day for the next 10 days.
Dosage, 150.
To stimulate egg development. She'll do this until the eggs are extracted from her ovaries.
This one hurts.
But for many women, the pricey journey isn't likely to end in pregnancy.
At one point, I was spending just under $1,000 a day for medication. I used whatever money I had and I maxed out my credit cards. So this one's $1,120, $1,960, $4,687, $1,650, although I know that it cost me more than that.
Angela Anderson tried twice and only managed to get 8 viable eggs into storage. Altogether, she spent about $50,000.
Every day, the results were not good, and when they call you and tell you that none of them worked, they don't tell you you'll never be a biological mother, but that's what they're telling you.
But for many women, it's worth the risk.
If I didn't freeze my eggs, I would probably feel more pressure to get married right now.
At 32, Isa still wants to put her tech company before anything else.
I feel like my company and the growth of it is my kid right now, and I don't have time for other kids.
Thousands of women go through this process every year, even though each egg that gets extracted has a 12% chance at most of leading to a viable pregnancy. Egg freezing is a fast-growing sector of an exploding industry. Fertility clinics and startups brought in over $13 billion in 2018, a number that's projected to more than double over the next few years. Isa started her journey at the brand new Trellis Health in New York City. It opened in 2018 and looks nothing like a regular doctor's office. The clinic even has fresh-pressed juices. It's one of a handful of new clinics marketing towards women on social media, using colorful ads and playing with the idea of time. Invoking a sense of urgency isn't new, but it works.
I knew that there was a clock ticking.
The one thing I can't get back is time.
Maybe I can buy a couple more years.
Fertilized embryos are easier to freeze and have better odds at viability. But some of these clinics are for eggs only, which is much trickier on a biological level.
Eggs don't like to be heated or cooled. They're used to being inside of a body and being protected at all times. Embryos are a little bit tougher. They're just stronger and they're hardier and they can handle it more.
But in terms of finding customers, embryo freezing takes at least 2 people to collect an egg and sperm. Egg freezing requires just one customer, like physical therapist Marissa Rose. She froze her eggs twice about a decade ago.
I knew that at 36, if I hadn't met someone yet, that chances were that I was going to have kids later.
6 years after freezing her eggs, she got pregnant naturally and unexpectedly.
You want to put the trains together?
Even though Marissa is single, she wanted her son Milo to have a sibling. So she dipped into a reserve of frozen eggs and used a sperm donor.
I have many siblings, and I thought, I can't imagine him being alone. This is a very social, very loving, very caring child. To me, this wasn't an only child. Here's the baby. So you want to give the baby a hug? Oh, thank you for my hugs.
But not everyone has the same luck. Angela's doctors told her she'd have a good chance of freezing her eggs in her early 40s, though statistically, the younger you are, the greater your chances of success.
I think total they retrieved 16, but only 8 were frozen. You just still have that little bit of hope. At least I have 8. There's these 8 little eggs, and if I'm meant to be a mom, it'll happen with those 8.
Soon after, she went through in vitro fertilization twice with her partner Paul when she was 46. But combining sperm with the previously frozen egg in a lab dish to make an embryo isn't easy.
Essentially, every day they called and said one was gone. And then on the last day, it was like, you know, I knew the call was going to come that it was over, and it did. It was awful. And they're so scientific about it, you know, like, I think they even used the word discarded. They said they've all been discarded. And sorry.
A week after she lost all of her eggs, Paul proposed. And the couple hasn't lost hope yet.
Right now we're 50-50. My guess would be we're either going to remain child-free or we're going to try to have a child through egg donation. We're going to have to make the decision in the next probably few months.
While there's no breakdown for egg freezing specifically, there have been almost 1 million pregnancies using fertility technology over the past few decades. One thing is for sure. The number of frozen eggs that end in successful pregnancies is only a tiny fraction of the total. And for Trellis, a business model built around egg freezing alone wasn't enough. In November, as we were reporting the story, the fertility clinic shut down due to a lack of clients.
Back arm, just cross.
Isa's 19 eggs were safely stored before Trellis closed. Now she's back to her normal life.
I actually feel the most change emotionally and mentally, more so than like physically. And I feel like I've taken complete ownership of my future.
For Marissa, one frozen egg changed her future forever on the morning of December 18th, 2019.
I'm trying to get as much as skin to skin as I can.
On that day, she gave birth to her baby girl, Matea. Marissa's mom was with her to help bring the baby home.
Sleeping, Bubs. Quiet. You took a picture? All came into one day of putting one embryo in and saying, let's just see what happens and, roll the dice. I got what I wanted, and, I'm feeling pretty lucky and pretty happy about that.